Hey everybody, it's Michael. I want to welcome you. Today we're basically going to go over GMBs. What is a GMB, which is a Google My Business? What does that mean for you? Why is it important to you? And we're going to kind of just keep this super short and keep it just at that for today. Tomorrow, I'll try to post something in reference to optimizing your GMB or your Google My Business. But for right now, let's go ahead and just go over just that one little piece because I think that oftentimes it gets overlooked. So let's take a look at that real fast. So that way you can see what it looks like. So when we say Google My Business, when we Google, so I have a GMB that we use for showing people. We've done a little bit of work, not a lot to it, just enough so that way it populates. But if we were looking at landscaping, landscaper, it's in Dayton, Ohio, so we're going to use that for example. And if I were a landscaper or I wanted to do landscaping, this right here, where you see it's known as the map pack or the 3-pack, is really where you want to be because a lot of times there's ads right here where it talks about the search results. And then there may be an ad in the maps, but really most of your traffic between 70 as high as 80% stops in this area. And half of the reason that it stops in that area is half of the traffic today is mobile. So it makes it really easy because, for example, even though this one, landscaping Dayton, Ohio, which is showing up a lot because it's an exact match, doesn't get a lot of phone calls, to be honest, is because there's no reviews. So to be completely honest, the second and third one are probably going to gobble up most of the reviews. If you're not there, it's because you can click on the more and then you can see the ads pop up. But what you'll see is that, we have all these other ones on the side, and because Dayton does have some population to it, there's pages and pages of it. So that is exactly what it is. Again, the reason why it's important for you, see here's the ad like we were talking about. The reason why this is so important for you is because when people search, if almost all of the traffic stops there, that means that for the amount of money you would spend if you don't do it yourself for somebody to rank it is cheaper technically because of the results than if like Fulmer's here, for example, I'm sure has spent money to rank this, but they're not here, see? So because of that, they're only getting between 30 and 20% of the traffic to flow down to these next couple pages because most of the traffic actually flows through. If I click on like website, for example, here, right, the traffic flowed through the Google My Business to the website. Not a nice website, by the way, but that's okay. It's neither here nor there. So that's why it's important to really paint a picture. So in Fayetteville, North Carolina, right, I helped to land a windshield company. So let's say we did windshield. Fayetteville, NC. So they are in the 3-pack here, right? I'm not going to tell you which one they are, but they're in there and they literally get 170 phone calls a month, right? 170. That's not a joke. This one Google My Business doubled their business because of the population that it has. So Fayetteville is, I don't know, probably maybe 400,000 people when you factor in the little tiny cities around it. But so it's huge, right? So the call volume is very high. It's a little bit competitive, but in the end of the day, they still make a lot of money from it. And you got to figure if that's the call volume they're getting from the Google My Business, imagine how many phone calls they're actually getting because it flows from the Google My Business to the website and then they actually call. And part of the reason why this is so important is like when you look at the reviews, right? People are actually trusting the reviews. So if we click on this, So it pops up. One of the first things they do, and I guarantee, especially with certain brands of cars, and I know that because I work with a couple different companies that work with cars. So they're going to read a lot of these reviews. So, whether it's the lowest, they're going to see how they respond, or it's the highest, which, is irrelevant because they're 5 stars, a 5 star. And they're going to look and see kind of what would happen, right? Like what the reviews say. So that's basically what a Google My Business is. It literally for local businesses means money, to be quite frank. And if I were personally to say, hey, you have a budget of X, and let's say you were not spending that on paid ads, but you wanted the organic traffic, then I would say this is where you would spend that money. Now, if you said, I just want all the traffic I can get, then I would say, okay, that's fine. Then we'll do both. But initially, I always say, let's start with the Google My Business because A, we can get it done faster. Because to be honest with you, most of our personal campaigns take less than 90 days. Or what happens if that's, not necessarily, not only does it happen faster, but for the same amount of money or less, you get that bulk amount of traffic. So that's a Google My Business. That's what the importance is behind it. I can't stress it enough. We do it even for our own business, as well as we even do it for many people who do it for lead generation. But again, I'm Michael. If you have any questions, never hesitate to ask them below, and I will get to them as soon as I can.